Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video we relive some classic Five Nights at Freddy's nostalgia with a look at the history of FNAF 3. From development to the story of the game and animatronics within it, think of this as a place to walk down memory lane and perhaps even learn some new information along the way. If you haven't checked out the previous videos in this revisit of classic FNAF, then I'll leave links to those at the end of this one. With that said, sit back, relax, and let's return to Springtrap's haunted domain. This is the complete history of Five Nights at Freddy's 3. It was November 16th, 2014 when the world received its first teaser for the third entry in the animatronic Horror Fest. Creator Scott Cawthon's website, scottgames.com, updated to display the header offline. When brightening this image, fans found the first Easter egg, text in the bottom left corner, which read, "Until next time." Viewing the source code of this image revealed a second secret, alternate text, which read, "Soon." A few weeks crept by until on December 6th, 2014, Scott Games updated again. This time when brightened, a large number 3 could be seen. The source code for this image displayed the following key words: 5 Nights at Freddy's, 30 years later, only one. The mystery continued over the Christmas period, with Scott Games updating on December 9th, 2014, whereby the 3 was removed and replaced by Merry Christmas. The source code now changing to keywords Five Nights at Freddy's, taking a break, Merry Christmas everyone. The new year was upon us, and with it, on January 3rd of 2015, came a new teaser. Scott Games updated to reveal a new animatronic, who we would soon come to know as Springtrap. He stared menacingly out of the darkness with the text, "I'm still here," beside him. This time the source code read, "I remain." The image was also labelled FNAF 3 JPEG, confirming this game was indeed to be called Five Nights at Freddy's 3. January 14th, the site updated again, replacing the image of Springtrap with a box full of toy animatronic heads. Above this box of defunct robots was the number 3. Brightening this image reveals Springtrap beside the box. On January 26th, 2015, a trailer for FNAF 3 was finally released via the game's Steam Greenlight page. It didn't feature much in the way of gameplay, instead showcasing some of the new environments, mixed with glimpses of the previous games, and ending with an extended look at Springtrap thrashing about before jump-scaring the player. Throughout the trailer, text flashes up telling a story about a mysterious character, who most now theorise to be William Afton, the killer trapped inside Springtrap. These sentences read as follows: "He will come back. He always does. We have a place for him." In early February, creator Scott Cawthon posted to the FNAF 3 Steam Greenlight page telling fans he had been hacked. Alongside this message was a download link for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. It featured the game's menu screen and everything seemed perfectly legit. However, upon clicking into the game, players were treated to a punishingly hard retro-style platformer where they took control of Freddy Fazbear. Scott was simply trolling fans and confirmed soon after that he had not been hacked at all via the following message: "In case you all haven't figured it out yet, I have not been hacked, so stop worrying. All I've been hearing about all day is how I've been hacked. Everything is fine and FNAF 3 is still moving full speed ahead. Now everyone take a chill pill and enjoy the nice game I made for you." On March 1st, Scott Games updated once again, this time to an image of Phantom Balloon Boy. It asked the question, "Guess who?" Then on March 2nd, another teaser released displaying Phantom Chica and Phantom Foxy, stating, "It's all in your mind." Later that very same day, select YouTubers received early access to a demo portion of the final game, giving fans their first glimpse at how Five Nights at Freddy's 3 actually played. Those eager to try the game for themselves didn't have to wait too long, however, as the full version of the game launched just hours later on March 2nd, 2015. Android and iPhone versions followed on March 7th and March 12th respectively. FNAF 3 opened to mixed critical reception, with some people enjoying the new turn of direction and others finding it had lost some of the charm and personality of the first two entries. As usual with these history-themed FNAF videos, I won't be straying too far into theory talk, rather recapping the basic premise for the story of Five Nights at Freddy's 3 and elaborating here and there where relevant. In short, FNAF 3 is set 30 years after the events of the original Five Nights at Freddy's, which is speculated to occur in 1993, placing this third entry in the year 2023. The former owners of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza decided to cash in on the murderous controversy and talk of haunted animatronics that forced Fazbear to close its doors all those years ago. To do this, they set up a horror-themed attraction called Fazbear's Frights, a place for leftover and scrapped animatronics to be salvaged and used as part of a haunted house. One of the animatronics they discover is similar in appearance to Bonnie and uses the old spring lock mechanism, a suit predating the robotic ones seen in FNAF 1 and 2, originally built for humans to fit inside. However, they were decommissioned as the spring lock mechanisms were unreliable and dangerous. We come to learn this suit is known as Springtrap and houses the corpse of William Afton, the man responsible for the murders of the various children who inhabit Freddy and the other animatronic suits. Via the game's true ending, we see how this accident occurred. Afton, chased and haunted by the ghosts of his victims, decided to hide within the old Spring Bonnie suit, but the mechanism snapped shut, fusing his body with the machinery inside. Now Afton's murderous soul exists within Springtrap, and he hunts us at every turn. We assume the role of an unnamed night watchman, and are informed by a character known as Phone Dude of our duties at this post.
Hey, glad you came back for another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time. We found some great new relics over the weekend, and we're out tracking down a new lead right now. So let me just update you real quick, then you can get to work. Like, the attraction opens in like a week, so we have to make sure everything works and nothing catches on fire. When the place opens, people will come in at the opposite end of the building and work their way toward you, then past you and out the exit. Yeah, you've officially become part of the attraction. You'll be starring as the security guard.
The gameplay loop is simple enough. As usual, the objective is to survive the night shift, which runs from 12 AM to 6 AM. During this time, William Afton's Springtrap patrols the halls of Fazbear's Frights and must be lured away from the office via the use of audio cues. These audio cues are taken from childlike laughter, which entices Afton toward the area in question. However, things are never so simple. Several side tasks must be routinely performed in order to survive the night. The ventilation system must be rebooted to stop poisonous gas from filling the building. This toxic gas causes hallucinations and allows for Phantom Animatronics to show up and jump scare the player. Cameras must also be rebooted alongside the sound system to ensure that they are usable throughout the night. Every time we look away from our monitor to perform these reboots, Springtrap is given time to inch closer to the security room and attack, causing a game over. He can enter via the vent system to the right of the office or corridor to the left. Upon completing the game, the player receives one of 4 possible outcomes. The good and bad endings, which, as previously discussed, reveal Springtrap's twisted origins and the fate of William Afton. A secret ending themed around the visual style of those 8-bit minigames, where a child in a puppet mask shows up for their birthday party. The other children in attendance all wear masks of the various animatronics at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. These masks then drop to the floor and the children vanish, balloons floating into the sky above. This seems to symbolise the souls of Afton's victims staying trapped within the animatronic shells and the puppet figure controlling them. The puppets believed to contain the soul of Fazbear founder Henry Emily's daughter, Charlotte. The normal ending displays a newspaper article, which explains what happens after we survive Night 5. It reads as follows. Fazbear Frights burns to the ground. A new local attraction based on an ancient pizzeria chain burned down overnight. Authorities have not ruled out foul play, but at the moment it seems to have been caused by faulty wiring. Very little was found at the scene. The few items that were salvaged will be sold at a public auction. Fun fact, around the main article we can see various blurred smaller articles. These have been deciphered and are actually development tidbits from Scott Cawthon himself. We've covered these in videos before and they touch on how characters were modelled, named and how the first game was funded. You can see descriptions of these blurred articles on screen now, so feel free to pause and read them at your own leisure. Also, if we brighten the image of Freddy at the centre of this newspaper clipping, we see a horrifying sight. Springtrap staring at us ominously from behind the figurine, suggesting that he survived the fire after all. After completing each night, we are treated to a creepy and cryptic interactive cutscene in the style of classic 8-bit video games. These sequences show how Afton lured his victims and trapped them inside the animatronic suits. However, there are additional minigames to discover too. During the course of this game, it is possible to access a number of different 8-bit styled minigames, each one hinting at additional lore and story information for those wishing to dig deep enough. These are as follows. BB's Air Adventure. In this minigame we control Balloon Boy as he collects up 8 balloons. 7 are found in the first room, but we can actually leave this room via an invisible exit to search for the 8th. Doing so leads to some morbid sights involving the missing children. Mangle's Quest. Players control Mangle as he leaps around trying to collect 4 missing body parts. A kid rushes around the lower half of the screen and accidentally touching them will instantly end the minigame. Chica's Party. As Toy Chica, we must collect up 4 cupcakes and pass them on to one of the 4 crying children dressed in blue. Each time a child is given these cupcakes, their clothing changes to green, the colour of Springtrap. Stage 1. Taking control of Golden Freddy, we move from room to room, where we see children both happy and sad, and a very familiar rabbit animatronic overseeing events. Glitch minigame. In this minigame we take control of Shadow Bonnie and are able to glitch and float about various rooms. These rooms are identical to the ones we see during the Stage 1 minigame with Golden Freddy. Finally, we have Happiest Day, which isn't a minigame as such, but rather acts as an ending to the other minigames described above. We've already spoken about this cryptic sequence, so it's time to move on to the final segment of today's video. While the only real animatronic in FNAF 3 is Springtrap, who we've already looked at earlier in the video, there are a host of phantom robotics who aid his victory by jump scaring the player along the way. So let's take a quick look at each of them in turn. Remember, if you would like more detailed analysis of these animatronics, check out my FNAF Animatronics Explained series. A charred version of Golden Freddy from FNAF 2, Phantom Freddy can occasionally be spotted shuffling along the hallway corridor when we have our monitor down. At the end of a corridor he ducks out of sight, only to show up moments later inside the office to jump scare us. The only way to avoid Phantom Freddy's attack is to ignore him until he finishes his walk. This can be achieved by staying either in the maintenance panel or the monitor screens until he has completed his animation cycle. Looking almost like a giant watermelon, Phantom Chica uses the original Chica model from the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, this time scorched by fire, with a pair of haunting white eyes. She appears in camera 7 in the arcade machine monitor. If we look upon her in this virtual form, when closing the camera we receive a vicious jump scare. This attack disables the vent system, impairing our vision greatly. Phantom Foxy uses the same model as seen in FNAF 2, but once again appears to be rusted and burned. He appears in the centre of the office, and if we are not quick enough to raise our monitor, jump scares the player, taking out the ventilation system in the process. Phantom Foxy's appearances are completely random, so he is very unpredictable and keeps a player on their toes. Phantom Mangle also joins the lineup, appearing on camera 4 at select occasions and then proceeding to stare at us from the office corridor, blaring out ear-piercing static audio which makes it very hard to concentrate, not to mention stay aware of surrounding dangers. Phantom Balloon Boy likes to be a nuisance to the player by standing right in front of various cameras dotted about Fazbear Frights. By blocking our view, it becomes very hard to tell where Springtrap is at any given time. The cameras BB appears in front of are cameras 7, 9, and 10. If we stare at Phantom BB for too long, then he teleports to the office and attacks. The final and most terrifying of all Phantom Animatronics is surely the puppet. This ghostly version of one of FNAF's creepiest characters likes to appear for a brief moment on camera 8. If we don't change cameras quickly enough, then Phantom Puppet appears right before our eyes, blocking our use of both cameras and maintenance tools as it stares into our soul and emits loud, distorted audio. And with that, we come to the end of today's video and a look at the complete history of Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I hope you found this video both entertaining and informative, and if you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more horror-related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.